What up, boxing world? JF Sports, and I'm back. Miguel Cotto said some things here because he's being criticized of how is he really gonna beat Canelo. Even though Cotto is in favor to win this fight, you guys know that there's more fans. As a matter of fact, maybe 60 to 70% of the fans are rooting for SAUL Canelo Alvarez. You know, if it wasn't for Cotto having the resume that he has and being in the sport a little longer than Canelo and much older and had fought the best, I think Canelo would be in favor. But with that said, yes, Cotto is in favor, but to the eyes of the boxing fans, even when you ask all these, athletes themselves, boxers themselves, they rooting for Cotto. For Canelo. And with the interview that was yesterday, Miguel Cotto had to say some things. He said Freddie is the person responsible for the way Miguel Cotto has resumed his career. He's talking about how he lost Pacquiao, how he lost Mayweather, all this stuff. And because ever since he got with Freddie Roach, he's been knocking out his opponent. And you guys know that. He said he is dedicated to bringing out the best in me, the best that I have. Since we came to the gym on the first day, we were more than willing to work and improve that we have to improve and make adjustments when we have to do it. He said Freddie's become the backbone of what makes Miguel Cotto today. And that's what he said. As a matter of fact, Miguel Cotto said his best weapon to defeat SAUL Canelo Alvarez is called Freddie Roach. At 34 years old, he said he's doing things he's never thought he could do. He said he will do it again comes November the 21st. Now, this is one of those fights, Cotto versus Canelo, that it's really, really tough to pick, Even though, like I said, Cotto might be in favor on paper, but to the eyes of the boxing fans, Canelo's going to win this fight. With the rivalry of Puerto Rican boxers and Mexican boxers, that's how much makes this fight that bigger. You know what I mean? That big, and it's much anticipated. And we've been wanting this fight to happen, and we finally got it. But but to really think about this fight, Cotto Canelo, it's huge. And some people said that Cotto don't really have anything to lose because he has lost before. And he is near end of his career in boxing. On the flip side, Canelo, even though he's been in the sport since he was like 13 and 14 years old, and he's been winning, as a matter of fact, he's never been down before. He's only lost once. He still got years and years of time to continue his career. So a win against Cotto would really, really boost his resume. Now a loss to Cotto, some say could only hurt Canelo. But like I said, it's not gonna be those fights to where we're gonna see a running around. You know what I mean? I can see a more calculator Cotto and a more aggressive Canelo come November 21st. But it's gonna be explosive. I think comes maybe the third, fourth round. They have to feel each other, obviously, and be cautious of punches and stuff like that because they have never been inside the ring before. This is not a rematch. This is the first time they're fighting. And like I said before, there might be a good chance that even if Canelo or Cotto wins the fight, that we might see a rematch, and the boxing fans would not mind seeing it. We wouldn't mind supporting that because we know what both fighters have to bring to the table. But on the other hand, as we get closer to the fight, Cotto is slowly being criticized about how he really expect to win against Canelo. It's really tough because Canelo's a big dude. He's a heavy puncher. He is a knockout artist. And he's very young. Full of energy. You know? As we've seen, even though Cotto has knocked out his last 3 opponents, we've seen how he fights. He's more of the calculator. He's more of the, you know, old timer, so to speak, fighter. You know, he is explosive, but he doesn't have that kind of explosive anymore as if he was young. You know what I mean? Back then. Well, the young Cotto, yeah, you know he was explosive. You know, he come out there and try to knock people out, get them out the way in the first round. But lately, it's not like that anymore. Yes, he still look for the knockout. Like I said, he's still explosive fighter for the way he is at his career and his age. But that only happened really when Freddie Roach, stepped in the life of Miguel Cotto. But is Freddie Roach really enough to beat Canelo? Because we all know you can teach and train a dude all you want, but at the end of the day, it's not really the result that we get sometimes. I hope that all of these criticisms and stuff like that about Canelo, Cotto, doesn't get to Canelo's head also, because what's going to happen is Canelo will get overconfident knowing that, everybody's rooting for me to win this fight, even though I'm underdog. Now, that's when you get cocky and overconfident. I don't see that happening. I'm just saying, the things fans do, the social media does, hypes up the fight and makes somebody else think that they're already winning before the fight even happens. And like I said, I think Cotto is more defensive rather than offensive when it comes to interviews nowadays. And when he's asked about sensitive questions, he tends to not really answer them, but make you think about what he says, because he doesn't really directly answer the questions. Like when he's asked how does he, expect to really beat Canelo, knowing that Canelo's a much younger guy and much, harder puncher and a knockout artist, and never been down, he's never lost before. I mean, he's lost once before, but to Mayweather, but only was pot-shotted all 12 rounds. He was not really knocked down or knocked out by Mayweather. He wasn't like, bleeding all over the place. He was really, if we can really be truthful, Mayweather just outboxed Canelo. It wasn't like he was brutally demolished, So how does Cotto, plan to do the same when we know Cotto is not a type of fighter that potshots, his opponent. He's an explosive fighter just like Canelo. Can he really match his power, his skills against Canelo's? Comes November the 21st. I mean, that's why he's being criticized of how he really expects to win against Canelo. So, like I said, man, I think that Cotto will be the more calculator comes November the 21st, and Canelo will be the aggressor. That's just how I see the fight going. But I have yet to make my pick of who I favor to win this fight. I will do that as we get closer to November 21st. Let me know what you guys think. Drop me a comment. And as always, thanks for watching JF Sports.